Good morning, folks. One of the biggest comets to approach the Sun since Comet Neat is currently undergoing destruction. It came in last night with a nice CME visible over to the left as well. In the coming hours, we'll see if anything survive, but until then, please note that the mechanism for CME production with these would not be that a little comet hitting the Sun makes a splash, but that these comets are electrically active to begin with, and when interacting with the solar wind and atomizing down to charged materials, it is ripe for collection and integration into coronal magnetic fields. Just like when we see one flare trigger another one on the Sun, the electrical input from a comet, especially the particles, into a subset of the magnetic fields of the Sun could destabilize a specific region. Anyway, folks, we are still without SDO solar images. GOES SXI is working just fine, but nowhere near the quality, and so luckily the Proba 2 swap is up and loading images to HelioViewer now. This is close to SDO quality and will have to do for the time being. Only Earth-directed event was a tiny filament snapping, unlikely to be producing anything major. Anyway, folks, some good news. While a battery issue does appear to have caused the data problems with SDO, there is hope for recovery. Even though the pretty images we usually see are not updating, we do know that the instruments are sending some data and are getting back into gear. For example, the HMI device is on point again, showing a lack of sunspots this morning, which also explains why there are no solar flares either. Solar wind remains above average intensity, however, as sustained speedy streams indicate the coronal hole event is ongoing, and that continues to drive magnetic instability and localized storm conditions. Let's come right to the ground because there's a volcanic uptick that is just unreal right now. Islands in the Atlantic, tourists warned of potential activity as earthquakes increase at the mountain. And over in Indonesia, their third volcano erupted in the past few days. We got Gamalama, Rinjani, and Sinabung, all in eruptive phase and disrupting flights. When you consider the activity at Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean, Sakurajima in Japan, and a couple mountains rocking from Mexico down through Chile, you realize this is the biggest one-week volcanic uptick since 2012. And even without SDO images, you should remember there's a massive coronal hole facing Earth right now on our star. Coming to the weather, where the last few days have continued the dangerous onslaught. This comes out of North Dakota. Massive twister there. Unlucky folks. Likely lost a lot. Across the world, there is a snowstorm that smacked southeastern Australia. A number of groups had to be rescued after their routes were cut off. This is something the monsoon areas at the southwest U.S. are seeing a fair bit of these days, but it's nothing compared to the flood risks in India, where a bridge collapsed and dropped 2 full buses into the torrent. The same system was blasting through China a few hours later, and it destroyed a train station. Yeah, go the other way, my friend. Anyway, folks, if you haven't seen the challenge page recently, please see the update there. Today our eyes will be watching for any signs of the comet's survival. The SDO will hopefully return soon, but Proba 2 and GOES will be used to keep tabs on our star in the interim. Got some pressure and radar forecast followed by those solar and comet images we've seen already. It's 3:45 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.